Hey everybody. So, I don't know how many of you have ever heard about the 12 spoon theory when it comes to lupus patients, but it is an actual theory. It's called the 12 spoon theory, and you can look it up. Just type in 12 spoon theory for lupus, and it'll pop up in your search engine. But anyway, what it is it's a theory called 12 spoons, and basically it is saying that for a patient with lupus, we are allotted 12 spoons a day from the time we wake up to the time that we go to bed. And it starts from the moment that we wake up, we get that first spoon. So that's you waking up and you start your day. So you get up, and for you to get out of bed, it takes you, that's your first spoon, you getting out of bed. Because it takes you a minute to get out of your bed, whether you're achy trying to get up out of there, you got to sit up, you got to move your legs, you got to drag yourself up. If you got a low bed, you got to try to pull yourself up really high. You got a high bed, you got to try to scoot off of it and get yourself out of there, all that kind of stuff. Then if you like me, then you make your bed, and then you go into your bathroom to do your morning hygiene. That takes another spoon, to do your morning hygiene. You brush your teeth, you wash your face, you fix your hair, you fix your face, or whatever you're going to do, and put on your clothes. That takes up an additional 2 spoons. And if it kind of follows like that, so if you look at it throughout the day, every time you're doing a task, you're taking up a spoon, but you only get 12 spoons within a day before you tire out, where you cannot do any more work at all, where you have to go and sit down or lay down because your body has completely exhausted itself out to where you can't do anything else. So let's say you have to go and do laundry before you go into work. So that takes up another spoon. You have to go separate the clothes, and then that takes 1 spoon. Then you got to go and put it into the washing machine and put start the cycle and stuff. That takes up another spoon. Then you got to go in the kitchen and fix you a quick breakfast real quick and make your coffee. That takes up another spoon. Then you have to get in your car and drive all the way to work. That takes up another spoon. Then while you're at work, doing all your work for however long you're at work, that takes up possibly anywhere from 2 to 3 spoons. So you're keeping count because you only get 12 spoons, and you can't ask for more spoons or get extra from somebody else, or they don't roll over from day to day. You get 12 per day, and that's it. And once you have reached your limit of 12, you are done, like donezo. You get no more. And at that point, your body has reached its limit. So if your day is not over, and say you haven't even got off work yet and you've used all your 12 spoons, by the time you get off work, you don't have any more spoons left. So you driving back home is a risk, because your bones are hurting, they're inflamed, they're throbbing, you are tired, you can barely see straight, everything's hurting you, everything is swollen. You don't know how you're making it. All you're going off of right now is a whim and a prayer, that God, please just let me make it back home safely to my family at this point. Because right now you have nothing else left to give, because you have ran out of all your spoons. And by the time you do make it home, the only thing that you can do is get into your bed and crash. You don't have no energy to want to eat, to socialize with any of your family, whether you're married or you have kids, or whether if you just have kids or fiance, whatever you have, whatever your situation is at home, you just don't have time for it because you are completely exhausted. The only thing you can do at that moment is get home and get in your bed and rest up for the next day to rejuvenate and get you another set of 12 spoons to start your next day. So, what us as lupus patients have to do is we have to try to work out those 12 spoons the best way that we know how. We have to try to operate within our limits to make sure that we don't run out of energy before the day is over with, because we know that if we do, then something is going to get left behind. And that's not the kind of environment that we want to live in, because that's not cool, because then you'll never get anything finished or accomplish any of your goals that you have set out for yourself. So we have to take the time and sit sometimes, and I know for myself, sometimes I have to go and plan my days the day before the actual day comes and be like, okay, so from this time to this time, I'm going to go and do this and do that first, and then I'll go back and then I'll do this and do that, and I actually have to sit there and do it like that and follow by that guideline, because if I don't, then I will run out of spoons, and it happens all the time. And of course, you can plan things out, and then when you go to do it, then it never works out completely how you said it. And then guess what? The next thing you know, oh, I done ran out of spoons early. I had to cancel. And I've had to do that. We literally have gone around, driving around, shopping around, looking for outfits and stuff like that. Even like for my birthday, we last month we were riding around, going to different shopping complexes and stuff, just looking for me a birthday outfit, and we're just going around. Everything's working fine, but then I started to get a little tired and getting a little tired. And then finally, we drove real far. It was like 45 minutes away from our house to some super big mall I ain't never been to. And this mall had like 5 floors to it. It was the biggest mall I've ever seen in my life. Like huge, huge, huge mall or whatever. So we get in there, and literally we found a parking space in the parking garage after we drove around for a couple of spins. We finally found a parking space, and it's me, my husband, and both of our kids. And so all of us get out, and mind you, it's freezing. It's like 20 something degrees. We all bundled up. It's cold. We had to walk up the stairs to get down to the little the little escalator thing to where it was located or whatever to get in. And once we got inside there, and we took literally like 5 steps, and then I was like, babe, I can't do this. I'm tired. My body's just shutting out on me. Like, literally, my body started to shut down. Like, I started to sweat really bad. I got really hot. My legs started aching. My knees were aching. My feet were throbbing. I started to breathe really, really hard. Got short of breath. My heart was beating fast. And I just felt real claustrophobic, which I'm already claustrophobic anyway, but when my lupus flares, my claustrophobia gets really bad. And so I've started to feel like real claustrophobic. My kids were like standing all close to me, and I was like, oh my God, I need to breathe room. I need to breathe room. I need to breathe. Just back away from me for just a minute. Just give me a second, please. And I was like, okay, we gotta go. And my husband's like, we in here now. Don't you want to go find an outfit? I was like, no, we can come back either tomorrow or we can come back someday next week, because I still had a whole another week before my birthday came. And I was like, we just gonna have to do this either tomorrow or another day next week, because I can't do it. I can't do it. We gotta go. We gotta go right now. And so we walked back out of there, and as I was walking back out of there, I started to get the fresh air, and I was like, ooh, I felt like I could breathe again or whatever. And we started walking, and I was just walking so slow because I literally did not have the energy. Like, I was moving so slow. And as soon as we got back in the car and I was able to sit down, I felt my muscles start to try to relax, and so they were really throbby and achy, and I could barely move my legs or whatever. And the whole drive back to the house, all my body was doing was throbbing the whole ride back home. Like, I mean, intensely throbbing. Like, every time I tried to move something, it would just throb really bad to where it got like locked. My hands were like locking like this on me, and I couldn't move my fingers and stuff. And it was a scary state to be in, and the kids were trying to talk to me, and I was over in the seat having like a panic attack because my body was just acting so out of character. But I was in the middle of a lupus flare because we had put so much pressure on my body that day, because from the time we woke up that morning, we got up and left right out the house. We got dressed and left right out the house and started doing shopping and all that kind of stuff for a birthday outfit for me. So we were going from store to store. I was up walking around, zipping in and out of aisles, getting in and out of the car, getting in and out of the cold weather, and I don't know about other patients with lupus, but I do know for my lupus, the cold weather is not my friend. And so anytime that I am introduced into the cold, my body goes haywire and it automatically starts acting like it caught the flu or something like that. And so all the times I was getting in and out of the car, going in and out of these shopping malls and stuff like that, and I was just exposing my body to all of this cold weather and all these different, people, and some masked up, some not, some people, clean and sanitized, some people not. It was just a bunch of different elements that I was exposing my body to, and it just did not respond very well. And by the time we got back home, I literally felt like I had had pneumonia, that I was bedridden. I came back home and I had to get right in the bed. I had to get dressed into my night clothes, and basically I just laid in bed for the rest of the night because I was done. I didn't have any more spoons left. I had used up all my spoons. I had actually used them up earlier in the day. I was flying on a prayer by the time we got to that mall, and it just happens that way. And when you have lupus, lupus is very unpredictable at best. And it just sometimes it sucks having lupus because a lot of people don't understand lupus, especially people that don't have it. And I've seen firsthand how me getting diagnosed with lupus pushed a lot of people out of my life, especially my family. Um, a lot of my family members just stopped speaking to me once I was diagnosed with lupus. It was like lupus was the coronavirus for some reason. It was like, oh, she got lupus now? Oh, whoa, we gotta X her out. No, no. And I'm like, geez, it's not that bad. Yes, I do get down sometimes. And yes, there are times where I can't do as much as the next person, but geez, I'm not like on my deathbed or anything. I could still lead just as much of a normal life as anybody else. I just have to be just a little bit more careful, but that doesn't mean that you have to give up on me, which a lot of people have. And but that's something that I've gotten over by now, and I'm not going to get started in on that because that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. But what I'm saying is lupus is not a death sentence, but it is a very serious illness to have, and it is something that needs to be taken seriously if you are diagnosed with it. And, it can be life or death. And it has been like that for me for many years. As a matter of fact, I have this picture right here. If you can all see this kind of, this was me just a couple Christmases ago from a lupus flare. I went to bed on Christmas Eve like this. Well, not like this. I went to bed regular like this. And then I woke up on Christmas Day looking like this and was in the hospital for Christmas because of a lupus flare. Um, so you see, it just goes to show that lupus is very, very serious. It's nothing to play around with. You know, it's nothing to play around with. And all that I can ever ask for is just the support and love that you would give to any other friend or family member. That's what we're all looking for. You know, we're the same as anybody else. You know, lupus is not contagious. You know, it's not something that, oh, if I touch you or something like that, you're going to get it. It's nothing like that. Um, but it is something that can be hard to deal with because it is something, you know, it's something that you have to live with. There's no, you know, curing for it. There's just you treating the symptoms of it when you have a flare, and you just go, you know, you go by that and move on. So I'm just sitting here advocating for all of us who have lupus and any other autoimmune illness out there, that, you know, don't count us out just because we have an autoimmune illness. You know, we're just like everybody else, and we would like to be treated just like everybody else. Um, and that's all that I want to say on that today. For the first time since I started my channel, I am going to be asking you to click the subscribe button on YouTube for me, please, to subscribe to my video, to subscribe to my channel. As I'm growing it and growing my channel and growing my videos and growing my, you know, my squad and stuff like that. And I love you guys and thank y'all for watching. All right, so I'll see y'all on the next one. All right, peace.